Hi guys, this is Danica Dvorak and Jordan Stevens is my partner. He's not going to be joining us for this video, but this is homework 17 for Engineering 460 Monte Carlo class, and we're going to be doing the 7.2 simulation of a hospital ward, switching that over into MATLAB. So I won't read this whole prompt for you just because it's really long, but the general idea is that we want to simulate a hospital ward with n beds. The patient occupancy durations are from a Weibull distribution, but the arrivals are from a Poisson process. And so given all of these different scenarios that are going to happen, we want to have the output of like the cumulative time. So switching over here, this is their code that they have. You'll see that this hospital ward function that's the main part that we're looking at. And these are all the inputs, this sim, tim, n, to, alpha, lambda, mu, beta, seed A, seed B. And then they want to print out all of these inputs. And then this is like for the first scenario from the prompt. This is like a checking. And then they do like the second one and they compute the average utilization, and then they start to output the utilization and the referral proportion. So those are the things that we're looking for in our MATLAB code, and this is kind of them putting it again in just like more pseudocode kind of. You'll notice here that they have this while loop. In MATLAB we can't do while, or we can do while loops. Sometimes this code only uses do loops. So like up here they have the do if. So we're only going to be able to use while and if loops instead of do loops. So with all this, so here's our input data for the first one. We want the number of beds to be 10, the Poisson arrival rate to be 1.2, mean days to be 6 2/3, standard deviation 6 2/3, early departure 0, and then the scheduled departure times is like this matrix. So if we switch over to MATLAB, you can see this is our function that we have, and we have all the same inputs. And we have these for loops and the while loops and all the if statements. All here, I'll just scroll through and you can pause it if you want to see any of our code kind of up close. This one doesn't have an ending statement because this is that cumulative that we're looking for as an output. Okay. So then I ran it earlier just because it takes a really long time to run. But part A here, this is our kind of command MATLAB code. This is where we have that N10, the seed A and seed B are the same as what they wanted. Our alpha, lambda, mu, beta, and all of these things they're all the same as that first scenario that we saw. So if we go up here, get to this first part. So you can see this first part, we have those same inputs. So the number of beds is 10, Poisson is 1.2, we have the 6 2/3, and all the bed state times are the same. And then you can see our cumulative output right here is 1 times 10 to the 4th over all of these, this matrix here. And then the utilization is 0.85 and the referral proportion is 0.3 is what they're coming out with, which if we come here we can see these outputs. The utilization doesn't quite match, but we are getting the same for the early departure and the average reduced departures and whatnot. So that ended up good. And then we do the same thing for a 20-bed ward. So here, all this input data you can see out here, and these are the output stats that we're looking for. So if we jump over here in our MATLAB code, you can see that part B has all those same inputs from the book. And then if we go to the output down here, so here you can see that number of beds is 20, we have the 2.5, we have the mean and standard deviation that they want. A utilization is 0.78, which is pretty close, and the referral proportion is 0.08. So we're in the range of where we want to be. So I hope this was useful. like I said, if you need to pause the video and slow down to see all of our MATLAB code, how we transfer that over, that might be useful for you. So thanks for watching, guys.